Hi everyone, this is Megan Friedel from the Wisconsin Center for the Blind and Visually Impaired, and today we are going to take a look at one of the lessons from the Quick and Easy ECC. Today's topic is using and distinguishing keys. Now you can use keys for a variety of different things. You may have a key to unlock your locker, you might have a key to unlock your house, you may have a filing cabinet that you have a key for, or maybe you have a storage shed that you have a key for. But anyways, we use keys frequently throughout our lives during the day. You may use a key to unlock your home, your locker at school, or even your backpack. In this video, we are going to talk about where to store your keys, how to identify your keys, and how to use your keys. As for storage, there are many different places that you can keep or store your keys at. The most important thing is that it's a secure place and that you use the same place every time so you always know where to find them. You might use a hook in your home, you may keep them in your backpack, you might keep them in your pocket, or if you carry a purse. As far as identifying keys, there are a lot of different ways that you can identify them. First of all, your keys just may have a different shape and size immediately, and so you may not need to modify them at all to make them so you can identify them. So for example, around my neck, this is where I keep my keys for work, is around my neck on a lanyard with my ID. I have two keys. There's a larger key that unlocks my office, and then there's a smaller key that I use to unlock a filing cabinet. Because of the size difference in the two keys, there's no reason to have an additional key identifier on them because I know which key is which. However, you may have some keys that feel exactly the same, and you may not be able to tell them apart by touch. So a simple solution for that is using a rubber key identifier. A rubber key identifier goes over the top of your key, like the more rounded or square part of it that you hold on to while you turn it. And you can get different colors, you can get different textures or patterns, or even how they feel tactually to you. Some of them cover the whole top of your key, so it might all feel rubber, and then some only create a small raised line around the edge, and we'll show a couple examples of those next. You can purchase these very inexpensively from different retailers such as like Walmart or Amazon, or really any store that's available to you. Next, let's see how key identifiers work in action. Next, I'm going to talk about two different keys and then how you can actually apply or put on your key identifiers. The keys that I have displayed in front of me are two keys that I use for my office at work. The first key I'd like to show is similar to a house key. In some ways, it's about the same size. The head of the key is in a rounded shape, and then as you move your finger down, you will feel teeth, which are just these little pointy pieces of metals along one side of the key, and then on the other side of that skinny part of the key, as it begins to narrow, the other side will feel nice and smooth. The other key I use frequently at my work is a smaller key. The head of this key is the shape of a square. This key also, just like any key, has the teeth on one side of the narrow part of the key, and then it has a straight, smooth line on the other. Now, with these two keys, I likely would not need to use a key identifier because they are so different from each other in shape and size. That is something to keep in mind when you are deciding how you want to distinguish your keys. You certainly do not have to use a key identifier if the keys themselves are different enough for you to tell apart and that you know where what they unlock. So I have displayed here two really common key identifiers. One is a half circle with solid rubber material, except for in the center of it where there's a hole, and that hole is for you to attach your key to a keychain or a key ring. Applying this key identifier is very simple. If you take your finger and feel around it, you will feel a half circle, and then that half circle will end and you will find a straight line. When you find that straight line, if you go ahead and take your thumb, and you will find an opening. Go ahead and slide your thumb into that opening. Then pick up your key and place the head of the key into that opening. And it should just slide right in, and it fits the head of the key identifier fits the head of the key just like a hat, and you're all set. And you can go ahead then and attach your key to a keychain if you prefer, or lanyard, or however you choose to hang on to your keys. The other key identifier is a circle, and there's a large hole in the middle of it. This key identifier will give you an outline of color around the head of your key, as well as a tactile indicator that will make it stand out differently from other keys, because there will be a circle of rubber material around the head of the key instead of only feeling metal. To apply this key identifier, go ahead and take your finger and feel around the key identifier until you feel an opening. When you find that opening, pinch the opening with your thumb at the bottom of the opening and then your pointer finger at the top of the opening. Once you have located the opening, go ahead, take your key, but this time take the bottom of the key where those keys or where those teeth are in the key and slide it through the opening. Once you cannot push the key any farther through, go ahead and pull up on the key identifier and wrap it. There's an opening in the middle of it, of the ring, and that opening will wrap around the edge of the key identifier, and then it is securely on your key. One other thing I want to point out about key identifiers: if you are someone who utilizes color to distinguish your keys, or would like a high contrast option, right now I have a yellow key identifier on a brass key. This is not providing high contrast, so if you're looking for a high contrast option, you may want a black or a deeper color key identifier to go on your brass key to make it stand out a little more. All right, let's go and actually use a key. Prior to using the key, practice holding the key with your dominant hand, meaning the one you use most frequently, using your thumb and pointer finger to hold the key, one finger on each side of the top of the key. Be sure to keep both of your fingers close to the tip of the key, which is where the key begins to narrow, and you will notice the teeth on the key. If you're opening a door that swings towards you, place your foot against it for stability. When it comes to actually unlocking the door, place your index finger of your non-dominant hand, which means the hand you don't use as often, onto the keyhole. Using your dominant hand that is holding the key, remember to keep your thumb and index finger close to the tip of the key. While doing so, guide it into the hole. Note the orientation of the teeth, which is the pokey part of the key. Are they pointing up, down, to the left, or to the right, for easier insertion next time? Once your key has been inserted, go ahead and turn the key and open the door. Thank you for watching.